there's something to the story that we haven't seen yet, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next. But man, that was one heck of a match between these two. Run it back.
Yeah, man, run that shit back. But typical Tony Khan booking, it really doesn't make any sense of why he had to win. And I'm with Jay. Hopefully, there's multiple matches down the line, but given previous bookings, I mean, he's already based on what happened tonight. I don't know if you kept up with if any of you other guys kept up with Dynamite tonight. Based on what happened tonight,
Forgot about that.
uh, Jay White might be looking for revenge at Christian Cage as well. So I right now I don't know where Jay White's focus is going to be at. Is it going to be on Christian also, or is he going to double back with Hangman and go at it again? If they're going to have a series of matches, then Hangman should have won that match first. Then Jay comes after him saying, I'm not done. Let's do this again. And then you have Jay win that match, and go from there. But I didn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense of why that even happened. So hopefully this isn't a one-off. Because if it is a one-off, chalked it up as another Tony Khan logical booking, because some of these matches that has potential to be long-standing feuds, they're usually one-offs.
Right.
And there's one thing as a wrestling fan is like good matches like that. If you're gonna do that, I expect something like that at Forbidden Door. Once in a lifetime match that you're probably not gonna see again a year from now. Not when the two is on the same roster and there's no series of matches coming out of that. That doesn't make any sense to me. But moving on, as John alluded to earlier, Swerve Strickland showed up in his home state of Washington to address some things, some business, as you
They
will.
got a title back there, but
Yeah, well, yeah, yeah. That is true. That is true. So true. Came out with Prince Nana. Actually, Prince Nana, which is I found it fun. I don't know if you guys found it funny, but before he even introduced Swerve, he took the time to promote his coffee. Which I'm like, come
yeah.
on. I'm like, come on, fam. We ain't got time for all that
Hey,
shit. We here to see
Hustle,
Tony
man.
Swerve.
Tony Khan said it was okay, man. All right.
Yeah, PrinceNanaCoffee.com. I'm like, all right, this dude
Hey,
here.
once a
All right.
hustler, hey man, once a hustler, always a hustler, Drew.
That's right. Go get
And,
that coffee, man.
and I ain't knocking it. I mean, you're looking at four hustlers right now on the screen, so
That's
I
right.
understand. I
Sir.
understand. So after he does his promo, Prince Nana, Swerve comes out. I like the pyro that he has with his new entrance per se.
Right.
Yeah.
So I kind of like that he's getting that pyro, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, where was this when he was champion? But that's a different discussion for a different day.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so he's about to address, everything that's going on in his life and everything like that. And then here comes MVP, Shelton Benjamin, trying to see what's up. I kind of thought it was cool how, Swerve was like, MVP is right. We did go way back. This and the third. Prince Nana, yeah, he was the reason why I lost the championship, but it was for him. I never would have gotten in the first place. So
Yeah.
I was
That's
like,
right.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, he's actually weighing the pros and cons of everybody. And
Mhm.
then the funny part to me was, a few things that bugs me about Prince Nana. He's still selling, weed to people. I'm like, God, and Nana was like, oh, come on, dog. I was like,
He said,
you just
we
gonna
the
put his business
teenagers.
out there. Yeah. I'm like, you just gonna put the man business out there on Front Street? I'm like, oh man, you gotta be kidding me. But so I'm like, I'm looking at the segment play out. I'm like, nah, he ain't going with them. I don't know. Something's telling me he's not. But then when he's like, the one thing I will say about you, Nana, is you family, and I don't turn my back on family for anything. I'm like, man, show you right. So I was expecting Bobby Lashley to come out, so I was kind of a little bit disappointed that didn't happen.
Okay.
Dale, I'm gonna start with you. What did you think of that whole segment? Because I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah. He kept us on the edge. They're thinking he was gonna turn on Nana and roll with MVP, but he stuck with Nana. So I love to see that, of course. Um, yeah, I was surprised we didn't get to see at least another part of the Hurt Business, or at least string this along until like another pay-per-view
Mm-hmm.
and have Swerve turn on the Hurt Business and be like, Nana's my boy, and I can't turn my back on him or whatever. And
Mm-hmm.
then also introduce Lashley, and boom, this is the full Hurt Business. We didn't want you in the Hurt Business or whatever. We were just setting you up so Lashley could eat you or whatever. And,
Yeah.
set it up like that. I don't know.
Jay, what you thought about it, man? How you feel about that segment?
Man, again, nice promo work from Swerve, man. Like
Mhm.
he's really captivating, the audience. Like he's really shown how much he's grown since his post WWE days.
Oh yeah.
And man, I ain't gonna lie, I'm with Dale. I was expecting Bobby Lashley, man. I was expecting the God, but I heard he got, they pushed it back for some other reason. I don't know. Maybe they might go with what Dell, was just saying, for as, they're gonna keep on going with the promos back and forth, trying to get him. But what I see out of this is gonna be a match with him and Shelton Benjamin, and then of course he's gonna squash Benjamin. I hate to say it, but Bobby's gonna wind up coming out there and showing why he's that natural leader.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That's true. John, what you think, fella?
Oh, fun segment, man. Obviously, first off, for the culture, hashtag for the culture. But then just the
Yes.
whole talk about everything, seeing Swerve in his hometown, and obviously he has a history with MVP. He has history with Shelton from obviously indie scene, WWE. Um, um, but yeah, I was kind of bummed we didn't see Bobby, but then when I saw what it was, because obviously we're going to allude to what happened in the main event later on during the show. They didn't want to have got two hometown sons catching massive beatdowns or murders in front of the hometown crowd. But I get what they did. I did want to see Bobby, and then obviously they said Bobby hasn't been around yet, but he will be arriving in weeks. So we'll see what keeps us going. But yeah, like Smoke was saying, yeah, I think him and Shelton, that's gonna be a banger match. Because obviously, I love me some Shelton Benjamin, dude. The dude's pretty much rhyming to me one of the most gifted men to ever step foot in the ring,
Yes, I
and I
agree.
think he's gonna put on the show. He's gonna put on a show with Swerve. But yeah, I think they teased us, made think he was gonna turn on Nana, but he didn't, and I still gotta keep our eyes up. We gotta keep our eyes open because obviously when Bobby gets there, I think there's gonna be a whole lot of questioning and eyebrow raising to see what's gonna happen. And I see, like Dale was saying, I don't know because I don't think that he could because I don't think the almighty term has been trademarked by WWE. Because hey, I just saw they
Yeah, I'm wondering.
trademarked some couple things. The hell, I didn't even know that weren't even trademarked. So we'll
Yeah.
Mm.
see. But we know but we always be the almighty list. Mama called him Clay, we gonna call him Clay. So therefore, Bobby Lashley ought to be the almighty. But but especially with
Yeah,
you,
That's the
bro.
best era, actually, though, right? Almighty era,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
almighty. Yeah.
yeah.
So, and I can't wait to see what happens. And yeah, because clearly Shelton's ready. He's itching to get back in that ring, and obviously he got in the ring tonight with Leo Rush. But he's ready to get back on that main stage to show why he is, no pun intended, the gold standard.
Yeah. To piggyback on that point about copywriting, not if I remember correctly, they actually are now letting former employers use whatever moniker they had. So
Right.
there shouldn't be any copyrights unless, Tony Khan wants to do something else stupid and, cause WWE be like, all right, you know what? I'm taking that away too. So if AEW stays cool, WWE is gonna stay cool because they made it public that any star that leaves, they can keep their name. So we still
Absolutely.
might get the Almighty. We still might go back to whatever moniker he had when he was in TNA, because I forgot the name he had in TNA that went with Bobby Lashley. If he had a name, if he did, he'll probably gonna use that one like Christian uses Christian Cage from TNA. So ain't no telling, how that goes. And actually, it was announced today on Dynamite that in 2 weeks, on the eve of Halloween, we are actually going to get Swerve versus Shelton Benjamin, as Jay alluded to earlier. So I'm actually looking forward to that match. I don't think it's going to be a squash, but either Swerve wins clean or we get something going down that's going to throw this match. Are they going to waste Bobby Lashley's appearance and put it on a regular Wednesday evening episode of Dynamite, or are they going to hold this out for another pay-per-view, which remains to be seen, because sometimes AEW likes to rush certain things instead of letting it marinate, So
Mercedes Monet. Oh, my bad, fellas.
Exactly. I was telling John about that a while back. There was no build up, no promo package, no nothing. They happened to be in Boston. She just showed up. There's like, yay. But yeah, because they should let it marinate, because four brothers in this on this chat. I'm pretty sure all of us cook, and the one thing we do is we gotta season our food, let it cook, let it slow cook, let it marinate before we serve. So we don't just serve raw food. So AEW definitely got to let it marinate instead of just handing it off the frying pan, off the grill, and it ain't done.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Right. Well, let me
go ahead.
let me ask you this. And this might play a factor in it. MVP is cleared to wrestle, right? Because I know he went back there in to the islands and got his stem cell treatments.
Yeah.
Is he clear to wrestle?
I believe so. I seen a few videos of him training and stuff. So I'm pretty sure.
From what I heard, he's compete with jiu-jitsu. So if he compete with jiu-jitsu,
yeah, he can wrestle there.
Wrestle.
Yeah. So it's pretty much up to him. It's up to him if he wants to. I'm pretty sure Tony Khan's like, yeah, go ahead.
And he made it,
okay.
When he pulled up the blood sport, he's not retired.
Yeah.
Okay. And well, look for a tag team match then. Look for a tag team match coming soon.
Or maybe he's going to use this at the time, use it as a managerial, recruitment role until maybe we might get I hope I'm wrong on this. I pray to God I'm wrong, but Prince Nana did tell the MVP a few weeks back that he'll put the boots on one more time.
That's what I was saying.
And throw hands at MVP. It would be a perfect time for MVP to mop the floor with
let's just watch it.
Hey, you might be surprised at Nana.
Listen, man, I wouldn't even lie to see Nana in his prime, so I wouldn't even know how the man got down. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he got down pretty nice. After the little interview thing, they had clips of him wrestling in TNA pop up. So
I must have missed that. Speaking of being done, Private Party challenged the Young Bucks for the AEW Tag Team Championship. After 5 years of being in AEW, out of nowhere, they wanted us to take Private Party seriously on winning the tag team titles. They had a close near falls on this, but once again, the brothers fell short, and the Young Bucks have once again regained, which I don't see the Elite losing their championships anytime soon. But they picked the wrong time to try to build Private Party because they're trying to make us seem like we care about these guys in a 2 week span, where these guys have been around since its inception and lost match after match after match. They was on AEW Dark. They was on AEW, Evolution. They was, doing these side shows, side quests, and were barely on TV. They was in a group with Matt Hardy that, did nothing for them. And half the time Mark Quinn was out and Zaya was on his own most of the time.
Right.
Yeah, the reason why I'm even bringing this match up because they're a part of my calling out names later.
Okay.
So that's why I even mentioned them. So Dale, if you got any opinions on this match, what'd you think?
Yeah, I mean, look, they look good as far as the tag team. They have come a long way with the ring work and everything like that. I think the thing's a lot more smooth. Yeah, but you're right. They built them up. They gave us this 5-year story kind of thing, and then they just squashed them pretty much. In my opinion, there was never any doubt. They just pulled this match out the blue, and that's how they built it up with the whole 5-year thing. But yeah, they're not doing anything with Private Party to move them forward in the card. It's kind of hard to look at the tag team division as a whole and look at it and see what tag teams are they moving forward like this, because I don't really see it anymore now.
Yeah, I agree. Jay, what you think?
Yeah, I'm with y'all with that. Like, I know we talked about it once before. Private Party, they were the group that I was looking for to have multiple tag team reigns. Mainly because they mirror one of my favorite tag teams in WWE, and I thought that was they was trying to do. But you can't just pull these dudes out the mud and expect people to just be like, oh yeah, let's root for them. Like, you can't do that. Tony Khan really have to work, especially with that tag team division, man. Because at one point in time, I was excited about the whole tag team division with AEW. Like, I was excited, but it's, long as the Bucks, and I think it's really the Bucks. I get they're trying to do this like this corporate type of takeover situation, but it's not playing out right. It's time to abandon ship and build your tag team division up. And if you ask me, Private Party has the ability to do that.
Yeah. And before I get to John, you know why we was so excited of AEW's tag team division in the beginning? Because WWE was doing diddly squat with theirs.
Right.
Yep.
So
Right.
and now that that's up and going, now we're looking at AEW like, oh. And some people are acting like this is brand new. This has been going on since the beginning, but we didn't care because it was different because Vince was running WWE to the ground. But John, what did
Yep.
you make of this beat down of
Hey,
Private Party?
Hey, Sophie. Oh boy, man, dude, I hate that we having this discussion because it was a good match, man.
Yeah,
It was a
Yeah.
real good. It was a real good match.
but that's never a problem in AEW.
No.
Yeah, right.
These are real good dudes, man. These are real good dudes. I mean, look, I'm not trying to do the IW thing where I'm just gonna do the black thing. No, man, these are real good dudes, man. I don't think Matt Hardy's taking dudes like that under his wing just for the heck of
Right.
it, man.
Right.
Come on, they got co-signed one of the greatest tag team wrestlers of the generation. Both of them. That was weak, man. I'm sorry. What I like, it was weak. I wanted that moment for Private Party. Look, I felt for Zay because I know those tears were genuine, dog. I know them tears were genuine. They've been waiting for this moment their entire stay at AEW, man. And the cart rug just got yanked under their feet. I get the Young Bucks run our EVPs off camera. I get they're one of the best tag teams, and I get they're like the standard of the tag team division since AEW's inception. But man, they really dropped the ball on this one. It was a banger match. They left it all out there. And I really don't know what's next, man. I really don't know. Because you don't want to go back to going back to FTR. Obviously, you're seeing Trail's been talking about how they've been building up the tag team division. I don't get with, the 80s looking dudes. I forget, brain crapping,
Outlanders?
Outrunners. But
yeah.
They have reached the crowd. So I hated it for Private Party, man. That was their moment, man. That was their moment.
They even gave them new music and all this stuff, man.
Right.
Right.
In a 2-week span.
2 weeks ago.
Yes.
They did that 8-man tag.
In that type.
Come on, man. They just beat the Young Bucks 2 weeks ago in an 8-man tag on Rampage, and then you pulled the plug on them on that night.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the confusing part.
They're off putting Top Flight or whoever else was in that 3-way match in the match if you were gonna let the Bucks walk out as champs. Because I know I was reading on the dirt sheets. There was a push for Private Party to get the title. There was a real push for Private Party to get the title. And you know what? It would have been the pop they would have got tonight on Rampage in the Bay Area in San Jose would have been electric.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Trevor.
Yeah. Shit, they better get a rematch down the line at Grand Slam or something in New York because that was some grade A bullshit if you ask me.
Yeah, it definitely was.
Well, speaking of something that wasn't bullshit, Jack Perry defended his TNT title against Shibata. And man, that whole match and after match was pretty interesting. So Jack Perry defeat
the mashup continues. We got joining the show now from the Best in the World podcast. Great Meta Watt in the building. Meta, what up?
That's the word with y'all, man.
Hey, what's going on?
Long time no see, my brother.
Yes, sir, man. First off, I want to shout y'all out, man, for holding the fort down all day, man. You know what I'm saying? This is y'all palace, man. Y'all making it dream out here, man. They have people here about wrestling every week, man. I'm here as a guest, man. You know what I'm saying? But I'm here. I'm happy to be here tonight.
Let's go.
Hey, man, we're more than happy to have you, man. The more the merrier. This is the IWC's conglomeration on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So
conglomeration is here.
Since you just got here, what did you think? We just finished talking about the Young Bucks versus Private Party. What did you think of that match?
I just dude's ever gonna lose, man. But overall, it was a great match. It was a great matchup. It was a great matchup. Definitely Private Party in a better light. Hopefully, I can see that happening again. You know, I hope it does happen again. But overall, great matchup. I mean, they kept the titles, but I mean, what's the end course for them? Who's gonna take the belts from them?
Just said the same thing. I literally just said the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea. AEW is so confusing. I have no idea. Ain't no telling how long they're gonna have those championships. Because with the outside threat of the BCC, what's gonna happen with the Elite? You know, like that's a heel faction too, or what's gonna happen with that? So I don't know where this is going, but it still has to be an interest to see, you know, how far these guys are going to keep these championships. And speaking of championships, I was about to get into Jack Perry versus Shibata. That match was very physical. Jack Perry is coming into his own 5 years later from the whole Jungle Boy thing. So he's actually, this role that he's in, I feel like this is finally his breakout role. This is something that he needed to get his career going, because now he's a badass with, like, as he said before, the hottest bitch in on the roster. So Jack Perry defeats Shibata. After Jack Perry wins, Dan Garcia comes out and he's pretty much going to live up to his proclamation that he had a few weeks ago when he said every champion in AEW is on high alert.
Okay.
So I'm guessing Jack Perry was going to be, his first victim. Challenged Jack Perry. Jack Perry backs down, and then here comes the return of MJF. He comes back, and him and Dan Garcia score off. Jack Perry gets a cheap shot. He found his diamond ring, this dynamite diamond ring. He said he searched hell and high water, and he found it somewhere. I forgot where he found it, but he said he found it. And just when MJF was about to nail him with that dynamite ring, here comes the music that me and John personally know all too well, because it happens at every big event that we least expect. Adam Cole is back.
Baby.
And this time, Adam Cole is a babyface, chasing MJF.
Yes.
Correct me if I'm wrong, fellas. Wasn't Adam Cole the devil?
Yes.
Yes.
He was.
Yes, he
Okay.
was.
All right. I thought I was tripping. Because it making it seem like that he's coming out there trying to destroy MJF, like, he broke his heart. I mean, if anything, all MJF did was kick him in the nuts, and if you ask me, he kind of deserved it. I mean, he did, that
Just
cost
tell
him
me,
the
yeah.
championship, and broke the man's trust. And based on what we saw tonight on Dynamite, all those promos hit, but it hit in reverse. So, Dale, I'm gonna start with you. What did you make of this clusterfuck of a situation involving Dan Garcia, MJF, and Adam Cole?
Okay, so let me go back to Jack Perry, right? So this whole thing should be about Jack Perry. All right, we're supposed to be boosting up Jack Perry. All right, Jack Perry was a terrible guy, and he got put out the company. He had to go to Japan. All right, Tony Khan put him out. All right, then he came back, and the other guy's gone. But Jack Perry's still here. All right, and the elite had his back. He's part of that side of the company. Where's his support? Okay, he's always driving around in a little raggedy ass van thing, a bus, and and what's his motivation?
The motivation is making everybody hate him every single week. That's the motivation,
Yes.
and that's what he's way better in the heel than they had him as the babyface. You know what I'm saying? You can't turn, unless you're Rey Mysterio Jr., you can't turn somebody that's like 5'3", 5'4", 5'5" into the Ultimate Man. Like, him being the heel turns him into one of the most important guys in the company, and I feel like they did it great. Even if it was kayfabe or non-kayfabe, the way that this was inserted, the way this happened, they CM Punk, but this is Jack Perry's payday right here. This is the here. When he retires, he's gonna speak on these years right here as TNT champion. Coming back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He can have this for his kids, man. You know what I'm saying? So in all, shout out to him, because nobody knows. Everybody knows Luke, but now everybody knows Jack. And people probably don't even know Luke now, but people know Jack. So shout out to Jack, man.
Well, I think they still
is true.
lend him more support on the corporate side. When you were part of the corporation back in the day, somebody was there for your matches, making sure you won and kept your championship for the corporation.
Yeah.
Where's the elite?
Where's Okada? Where's the Bucks? Yeah, I hear you right there, Jay.
I'm with you.
Give me somebody. Okay. So now the rest of it comes along. Okay, MJF still the spotlight wherever he goes. It's just who he is. Okay, cool. Fine. If he's gonna be the anchor for this division or this storyline, fine. But still, I think MJF will totally overshadow Jack Perry. and it's not going to do him justice in the overall goal of getting Jack Perry over as an actual pillar of the company. MJF is still the only actual pillar.
Why not? Why you say that? There's room for a lot of people in the company to be in the umbrella. You not get wet. You know what I'm saying? Jack Perry's one of the new ones, but MJF is he's solid. He's solidified. I don't think we should even have MJF in this conversation because we know that even when he comes back from injury or whatever he came back from, we know he's gonna have that same buzz.
Yeah, but I'm just saying I want Jack Perry to be solidified just like MJF is. And if you keep putting MJF with him, MJF is gonna keep overshadowing him. We did this already.
Oh, no.
We've done this already, and it's happened every time we've done it.
Do you not see that they may be putting these two on a collision course somewhat? Maybe to one day duke it out? It may not be a title match, but
I mean, if I know Tony Khan, that ain't happening.
Okay.
Putting who two together?
No, to fight one-on-one. Jack Perry and MJF.
We saw that already.
Yeah,
They're not gonna put two hated heels like that one-on-one with.
We're not gonna get this version of Jack Perry versus this version of MJF.
Oh no, I get you, but exactly. They're not gonna put two heels like that. They're trying to like to Dale's point. They're trying to solidify Jack Perry as another despised heel next to MJF. Now he's probably not gonna be on the same caliber as MJF, but they're trying to we need to have him as probably like that, that tier of heels, with the Christian Cages of the world, the Hangmans of the world, the MJFs of the world. So I'm seeing what Dale is saying is if you keep having him and MJF in the same vicinity, Jack Perry's just gonna be MJF's little brother. Exactly. Instead of having that spotlight on Jack Perry, if he's gonna have business with Dan Garcia, keep it with Dan Garcia and MJF. Yes. Stop having Dan Garcia chasing Jack Perry and chasing MJF.
Yeah,
it's like pick a lane, put Jack Perry in that lane, and run with it. Put Dan Garcia in one lane and keep him on that lane. Don't have him jumping from here and then double back later and have a match with this guy and then go back again to continue the match with that guy. So I see I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's what Dale's trying to say is you got Dan Garcia stuck at a divider. It's like, okay, bro, which way are you going to go? Are you going to go back to MJF or are you going to go with, Jack Perry?
Bro.
So it looks like he's going to go to Jack Perry and MJF is going to be dealing with Adam Cole. So hopefully Wrestle Dream kind of solved that problem. So now Jack Perry can do what he got to do, and I
think Wrestle Dream did that for real. They did that. I agree with you. I agree that they did that when MJF came in the ring and was kind of like, this beef ain't over, and you damn sure ain't going for no title run. Look at you, man. If anybody going for a title run, it's me. and even though he might not fight that, but that's how he came in the ring, and I like that. You know what I'm saying? Me, Daniel Garcia, when he came in, I'm like, all right, maybe, But once MJF came in the ring, man, you kind of seen the stare down, the rivalry, all that. Adam Cole just kind of balances out the whole other way. I mean, maybe you'll see a tag team match with the two guys, but Dale, to your point, maybe this is what's best for business in AEW. Maybe for these two guys to be somewhat together every now and again is the norm. It probably would never happen where Jack is getting the publicity, getting the publicity he should be getting. You know what I'm saying? It won't probably be that way, but I mean he's fortunate enough to be in the position where he's at right now.
So, Jay, what you think? Jack Perry stuff.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I hated the whole thing because it's like I'm kind of proud of Jack Perry. Like, I really am. Like, his character has really developed, and I'm like, okay, I could mess with you. But then you bring MJF down to kind of like overshadow this man. Then to balance it out, you bring Adam Cole. Then on top of that, Adam Cole is a babyface. Like that,
Yes.
it does not make any sense because it's who gonna forget that this man was just the devil talking about making MJF life miserable when he get off the crutches
Mm-hmm.
with his whole fraction that he had that he brought from some of the guys from WWE. So it doesn't make sense. But the couple of suggestions you all made, you can kind of tweak it and make it better. But the only way I can see this really working out is if MJF and Jack Perry squash their beef and they become this villainous tag team, and MJF take him in his
So
ring.
you saying MJF is going to join the Elite?
Nah. Not saying join the elite. Now there's you could have a partnership and not join the elite.
Okay.
You know, we've
Yeah.
we've seen it before,
I
and
would.
then
I
that
would
probably
think
could be
that-
Jack Perry's way out of the elite because, like you said, they're not showing up for him.
I would fix it. I would just buy a ref or intimidate a ref. Make sure the ref calls things the Elite's way, and they can do that with every match Jack Perry's in, and that'll be fine.
like a Nick Patrick, like an NWO Nick Patrick. Right?
Shout out to my man Nick. Shout out to my man Nick, man.
Exactly.
Nick Patrick, yeah, he was definitely NWO's weasel on that one. I give you that.
We hadn't done this in a long time. Bring it back, Tony Khan.
Yeah.
yeah.
You're taking
John,
everything
you
else from
listen to that?
WCW.
Said taking everything else. You're absolutely right about that.
Yeah, I'm gonna get into that later because there's a lot of things I can see seeing them rip off of WCW in a good way. But I'm gonna save that towards the end. John, anything else you want to add to about this Dan Garcia thing before we move on?
All right. So props again to Jack Perry. He should be, as Dale's saying, we should be talking about him more because he has put in that work since the whole best in the world situation. No pun intended. Pun intended. So we know he went to Japan. He finally found himself. I always talk about this with wrestling and storytelling and title runs. Sometimes your first run is you just have, like Trail knows, we have this conversation all the time with friends. Sometimes that first run, it's like that first, when you get that first big check, you just happy to get it. You're just happy to be there. You know, you're happy to, just say, yeah, I'm in the program. I'm in the company now. Let's go. So you do whatever being a good soldier, even if it's for the detriment of your development. And that was a lot with the whole Jungle Boy character because, and let's be clear, that was also a playoff because we all know who Jack Perry's father was. God rest his soul. For those who don't know, Jack Perry's late father, legendary actor Luke Perry, a.k.a. Dylan from Beverly Hills 90210, was like a heartthrob in the 90s with a lot of young teenage girls, my daughter's mother being one of them, who loved 90210 and loved Luke Perry. So I think they tried to play that off Jack Perry, but it didn't work because obviously, having to come out with the loincloth and all that. And I mean, no, man, look what this dude is doing, man. He's just showing that he really can get deep in his bag. And the match with Shibata was good because obviously Shibata's a Japanese style, strong style, technical wrestler. And Jack Perry has learned a lot since he was over in Japan and brought that back to the States. But that moment should have been about him. And then you bring in Danny Garcia. Now, we now know Danny Garcia is not going anywhere. This should have been a moment where you got these two young up-and-coming mid-carders being, getting ready, to put on a banger Intercontinental title style. But then you bring in MJF, which is like, okay, we know what happened with him and Garcia. And then obviously MJF is one of the biggest stars in the company, and they're basically going to kill the momentum that Danny Garcia is trying to build. Separating himself from doing all like Trell will say, being the Channing Tatum of wrestling and stuff. Now just being like a true wrestler like Bryan Danielson keeps telling him he is. And then you bring in the Adam Cole element because now, and that overshadows everything because we know how big of a match is going to be when Cole and MJF finally face off. it was too much traffic. It was too much traffic. It was like the 405 freeway here in LA. It was too many cars on the freeway. It should have just been, should just had a smooth sail between Jack Perry and Danny Garcia, and they could have somehow found another way to bring in Adam. I don't know any other way to bring in Cole and MJF.
That's easy. That's easy. Have MJF come out on Dynamite and cut a promo, and boom, there's Adam Cole.
Hey, there you go. Thank you. Because
Tony.
There you go. This is why they have these 5 hour pay-per-views. They're mixing Dynamite and Ring of Honor with a pay-per-view show and putting it all together, and you get 5 hours of a show with probably like what, an hour, 2 hours of BS that don't even need to be on there in the first place.
And I got one more thing. My daughter's mom was watching. She wants to say something, but she's a little shy about it. What the heck does this do with Wardlow?
Wardlow?
What happens with Wardlow now?
Last time I heard, he's still recuperating from a knee injury. So that's where he's been. But to your point, before the injury, what was Wardlow doing? I mean, that's like this whole everything. I believe everything fucked up when MJF and Adam Cole got hurt at the same time, and they both needed time off.
Yeah,
that hurt everything. And then what made it worse is you bring MJF back, still a babyface, and then a week later you make him heel. Okay. So when they did that, I'm like, all right, eventually Adam Cole's gonna come back. So what are we gonna do with that? So it's like the logic gaps of all the decisions that they made. It literally had a cause and effect, because that hurt, because Adam Cole versus MJF was pretty much the only big storyline AEW had at the time. So after Wembley, MJF was a little banged up. He still showed up, and then for some reason, Adam Cole thought he was 22 again, decided to jump off, make that little leap off the stage, twisted his ankle, and there's that. So, and then that pretty much made the whole devil group thing pointless, because there's not much Adam Cole could do when he's riding around in a wheelchair and some crutches. So,
well, to your point, yeah and no, because I distinctly remember that conversation that he had where he was sitting in the middle of that ring and he took that mask off and he was the devil. They're supposed to take over AEW, not only go after MJF, make his life a miserable hell, but take over AEW in their championships. So he still could have done that. He still could have did it, but he want to be at home playing video games.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that's nothing wrong with that. Shout out to Adam Cole, Cesaro, Tyler Breeze. Shout out to the party on YouTube. They put out good content when they playing video games. But I don't think that he wants to play video games. It's a simple fact of, okay, if MJF is out, why not have this group dominate until MJF comes back? You had this group literally do nothing. You sent the tag team down to Ring of Honor to literally do nothing with the titles. And then you have Wardlow.
Ring of Honor too, right? So
right. And then before Wardlow got injured, they was teasing Adam Cole in a group turning on Wardlow. So it's like, and MJF is not the picture. You're just gonna turn on Wardlow and have him be a sitting duck. So it didn't. If it's because of his injury, they could have did it another way. They didn't have to set that up.
I just don't think the Kingdom was talented enough to hold it down for a year.
They could have made them talented enough. They could have booked it to.
The only person that probably could have did it was Roger Strong.
And the best thing he did was the whole glasses thing with the wheelchair. That was his best stick.
I mean, true. I mean, everywhere you went, and everywhere you went, and John can attest to this. Everywhere you walk, you just hear
We were at
But
Full
That's
Gear.
great work, bro.
Me and Squirrel were
That
at
gimmick
Full
got
Gear
over.
at the forum.
yeah, that
We was
that
at
got
the forum
over.
for Full Gear.
Yeah.
And we saw dudes walking through the parking lot with fake with neck braces.
Yeah. So
Really?
to Dale's point of they wasn't built to hold it down. I will counteract. I would counter argument that is if you can take the goofy ass guns and somewhat turn them to kind of a serious tag team with the Bang Bang Gang. At a certain point, those guys were serious.
Okay.
And we took them serious. So if you can take those goofballs and make them serious, you could have done the same thing to the Kingdom. But they let that team go nowhere, and it basically, I don't know what's going on with this because now Adam Cole's a face. What happens to the Kingdom? What happens to Roderick Strong? Are they face too? Are they going to attack Adam Cole? Is MJF going to get them to help against Adam Cole?
Now that sounds like a good angle right there. That sounds like they'll get back in the round to make sense if they did that.
Mm-hmm.
Because basically what you're telling with Cole coming back, babyface, is that he's saying fuck the group. And usually in the wrestling sense, when you do that, at some point you pay for that shit. So that would make the storyline interesting. That would bring it, I believe, for all of us to be like, okay, you're doing something fair. Now, I mean, hey, we still got to do something for Jack Perry. No worry, Dale. It'll happen. But in terms of this, we want to see the story play out between MJF and Adam Cole. We want to see that. We didn't get to see it because they both were hurt. So, hey, if you're gonna build that, build it right. I think that's a good way to go in it. You know, MJF's a dirty dog anyway. He probably gonna be talking to those dudes in Cole's camp to turn on them. You know.
I believe that one because they gotta tie up all loose ends to make sense of all these situations here.
Right. Also, I heard Warlow. He's supposed to be joining the Hurt Syndicate, whatever they called. So.
Okay.
Why would he? Why?
What?
Hey, that's rumors. Don't shoot the messenger. That's rumors.
Hey, so what you're saying is,
Smoke. It's not that you smoke. It's just whoever thought about that needs to shoot themselves. I mean, come on.
So what you're saying is Wardlow's gonna be the Owen Hart of that group? Is that what you're saying?
No. I am not.
He's gonna be the white black guy of that dominating group without adding one Willie Hobbs to that mix instead. But what do I know? We just fans here.
So he can't even do the Owen Hart voice with the deep. Enough is enough this time. Oh man, what are you doing here?
Oh Lord!
If they're gonna bring Wardlow back, that dude needs. If they're gonna bring Wardlow back, that dude needs to roll solo and be that monster that Goldberg like figure that they was trying to build him to be, and failed at. Stick to that. Have him go on his own. He should be champion by now.
Yes.
Me and Joe said it when the rumors were swirling about Goldberg probably considering AEW. We said that was the one person they need to put him with. We said it like it was like me and Trey was sitting at work one day. It was like, all right, Goldberg comes in, let him be a mentor to a certain wrestler, and we didn't even have to look at each other. We just knew on the mind. Wardlow, come on, man. We can hire us at John Watson 0984 at Money_Ice. At Little Dice 504, at J Smoke, at Metal Watt, hire us. We got creative for you.
Hire us all.
Yes.
Real talk.
We will help you represent the black talent. We will help you book the black talent. You know what I'm saying? Because
definitely.
y'all don't know what y'all doing. Y'all don't know what y'all doing.
That apparently.
But like I said, I get to that later because I got a lot to say about that. And speaking of black representation, I'd like to dedicate this next segment to my friend Dale here. Mariah May defending her AEW championship against Willow Nightingale. Unfortunately, on primetime television, with the lights are on bright, Miss Nightingale met her downfall to Mariah May. Since this is Mariah May's #1 fan, Dale, what did you think of this match here and outcome?
I don't think the outcome was ever in any doubt. We know they put this match together the last minute because of the injury or illness to Britt Baker. But you know, you got to let the champ shine, and Mariah May did what she does. She come out there and she shines. She looked good doing it. Nigel speaks the truth. Okay, when he's talking about how good she looks. Okay, the man speaks the truth. Y'all need to listen.
I mean, the one of the few times he don't lie. Yeah,
exactly. But yeah, I'm looking forward to when they actually get back to her and versus Britt Baker to see how they're going to work this thing out and make it interesting. So.
I mean, we want to wait for that because if we're talking about Tony Khan and what he's gonna do, eventually what he's gonna do, he's gonna put the strap off on Britt. So let this ride out for a little bit. Let Mariah have her shine. Build it up as much as you can. For some time, so this pretty lady here can keep her championship belt. We don't want a case where she's only the champion for 127 days. We would hope that they give her at least 150 to 180. Maybe we'll see. But
I wouldn't hold your breath.
Yeah, at all.
Yeah. Oh, yep. So therefore it goes. She's at 51 days right now, plus at the champion. Under 100 days.
I mean, yeah, because eventually Tony Storm's going to come back to the States.
Yeah.
#1 rated. Hold on, and that's the #1 rated ladies wrestler. According to
there's a lot of people that could have made that list if they were properly booked, but different story for a different time, if you ask me.
He's coming back too now.
That list alone is a series of shows. I'm not even going there because obviously there's not a bias in that list. But go ahead, Trey.
Not a lot of bias.
I mean, there's a lot. That's another woman I can think of that's not even on that list that should be on that list if she was actually in the spotlight. But there's a certain goddess in Ring of Honor that eclipsed.
Thank you.
Joe's record, but
thank you.
I want to know the story, bro. Why is she being held to Ring of Honor only? Why?
Oh, I'm gonna get to that. Oh, trust me. Oh, trust and believe. My call out name is going to be a big one because this is something that's been kind of irritated me ever since the MVP opened up his mouth. So I will get to that at the end of the show.
Okay.
Jay, what did you think about the Mariah May Willow situation?
I mean, it's not really much to say because it just known she was gonna lose. I always hope for people that I follow with Willow. I follow her for Indies, but it's not gonna happen. And honestly, I see Tony Storm coming back and maybe getting her title back, and then Britt could take it off of her. But on the other hand, with Britt, she served up some divorce papers, so I'm guessing that's why she really wasn't in the mix. I don't know if y'all heard.
Divorce papers.
Yeah.
They were never married.
There was some type of papers. They had like a little issue going on, like a court issue.
Oh, I don't know. They were never married, like far as I knew. They were dating, but they never.
Right. So her
sure not talking about Mercedes?
Not longer together.
That's what I seen on the report.
Mercedes?
No, Mercedes did that a while ago. She let that makeup artist go, but
Hey,
correct me if I'm wrong.
He was a string sis. He wasn't a makeup artist. Don't do him like that, man.
Man, that's part. Okay, cosmetologist.
No,
they deal with hair. No, hear me out. A cosmetologist, they deal with hair, right? They're supposed to primarily deal with hair. But if
He
you
didn't
go
do
to
hair.
a
He
shop,
only did outfits.
but if you go to a shop, they do the hair, they do the eyebrows, they do the eyelashes.
So there's a rumor. So there's a rumor going around as well about the Britt Baker situation. Um, they're saying as well it's because she didn't want to get pinned.
Mm.
So it wasn't the sickness.
I mean,
It's so
No,
long
people are saying it was
until
the sick.
it was
So people
illness.
saying it was. So no. So people are saying that she's saying it's the sickness. People like the sickness, but then people inside, like the wrestlers and everybody else, is kind of like, no, you didn't want to lose this match. This is why you probably didn't show up.
Oh.
It could be both. Maybe she
Yeah.
didn't want to get pinned and she wanted to get a strep throat anyway.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I've had that. That shit is not fun.
At all.
She has strep throat. I don't think she's making that up. I had it when I was a kid. That ain't. She could barely talk. I don't think she's making that up.
Brett's been professional, bro. Like the only thing I've ever heard bad about her is this situation with MJF, and then from an interview with MJF, it was blown out of proportion. So
yeah. I don't know what's going on with Britt, but they're trying to make her seem like she's this the female CM Punk of the locker room, which I
think
don't
in some
believe.
aspects. I think in some aspects she. I mean, yeah, I think it came more offish like a year ago or some sort. Maybe not in all total CM Punk. I don't think anybody wants to be CM Punk in that light.
At all.
But yeah, she definitely has an illness. All of the above. Wrestlers are gonna say stuff. Media is gonna say stuff. And all she thanks everybody for their support in the health. And and all as fans of the wrestling, we just hope that she's able to come back at 100%, rather you get pinned or not. We want to see you fight. We see you as one of the stepping stones of this company. Whatever happened, happened. You're back here now. You got all these fabulous ladies here, pretty ladies. You still got my baby Chris Statler in there. I would love her with the belt all day. But yeah. Shout out to Britt, man. Hopefully Britt can come back and put on some dope matches and
And shout out to the
another
Dodgers.
one they book weirdly too. Statlander. It's
where is she at?
Yeah.
When the booker.
Statlander, oh my gosh. Have y'all seen her live?
She was
Statlander? Yes.
We saw her live. We saw her at Full Gear.
I seen her about 3 times this year just in Boston, man. Listen here.
Well, it sounds like they're building her to be the next one to have a legit feud with Mercedes. She keep having these run-ins with her and Camille, and obviously she wants the TBS title back. But obviously we'll get to that because I think Trell got something to say about Mercedes and calling our names as well. I'll say mine before Trell goes to somebody else.
She's a part of it by name, yes. By ethnicity, she's a part of it, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll say my thoughts and then I'll let Trell go back to the panel. I didn't I didn't know I think we all expected that Mariah was going to retain the title, and obviously we're all fans of Willow. We want to see her get the gold. She won the Owen. She was a runner-up. She obviously has been TBS champion, CML champion, and obviously she hits with the fans. But obviously, she took one for the team because she didn't need that L on her resume. We're trying to build Mariah May, obviously, until whenever Toni Storm comes back from her sabbatical to come back and actually challenge for the title. And it wasn't the best. I mean, good match. Well did her thing, but let's keep it real. We knew that match was Mariah's. It was Mariah's to win, and that's all I got to say about that.
Letting that poor girl be in that situation, Lord.
Facts.
Yeah, you could have got somebody else.
Exactly. They got so many women on the roster.
Could have got somebody, and that's another thing I'm gonna add. I'm telling you, man, everything black is gonna be added to call down names. But trust me, it's that's the only reason outside of Dale's love for Mariah May. That was the only reason why this match was even brought up to begin with.
Okay.
So next up, I want to touch on was that triple threat banger between Will Ospreay, Ricochet, and Takeshita. Man, that match delivered on top of delivery, man. Because it was like at first Ospreay and Ricochet formed a pack to take down Takeshita, and it was like pinfall attempt at the pinfall attempt, and then reverse Karana this, and it was like I thought for sure. I mean, I figured Takeshita would come out with the victory, but I didn't. I was one of the ones that said he needed to win because why build this man up to be a beast, have him go to Japan, go back home to be a bigger beast, just to bring him back and lose in this triple threat. So I figured out of everybody, I thought it would be awesome. I thought it would be Ricochet to take the pin, but it was actually Will Ospreay to take the pin.
Yeah, surprising.
But the only reason Ospreay took the pin was because Don Callis and Kyle Fletcher entered the fray. Don Callis was gonna take his patented screwdriver that he got from John Moxley a year or so back. He was gonna use it. Kyle Fletcher came out. I thought it was gonna save the day, but then turns out beats the holy shit out of Ospreay and cost which cost Ospreay the match, and Takeshita winds up winning. So now we got the official heel. Well, I don't want to say heel turn because technically the dude was heel the whole time, and they were teasing a face turn because him and Ospreay were boys from the United Kingdom, not the United Kingdom, but the group that they had in New Japan. But he officially, cut ties with Ospreay. So now Takeshi is the champ, and now we got a new storyline coming out of Wrestle Dream. Possibly sooner or later we'll get Kyle Fletcher against Will Ospreay. So, Dale, what did you think of Takeshita finally getting that win and that Kyle Fletcher double cross?
How many backflips do you think we saw in this match, like all together?
About 35.
I said about 40. About 40.
You know what, Dad? I'm gonna go back and rewatch it, and I'm gonna count every backflip for you, dog.
There you
Take
go.
over. Take over. Take over in Vegas.
Yeah, I think we called this, man. Like saying Takeshita needed to win this match. It's a perfect opportunity to put the title on him, let him go on a run, because he's deserving of it. Because he was the stuff over in Japan, bro, and we brought him over here, and he's not being booked that way. And you got him with Don Callis. I thought this was a good way to get him some heat. And so now let's have him win some matches, and let's have him take some guys out, with the screwdriver and all this kind of crap. Let's keep it real dirty and make people hate the guy. His ring work is just fine, no problem at all. Of course, with Ospreay and Ricochet in there together, it's gonna be some flipping and all that kind of mess. But I thought the catcher he managed well, especially the little spot where they were doing the flips and they met down in the Superman pose, and he comes out and bashes both of their behinds. I love it.
Oh man, that's true, man. What you think, man?
Great match. Overall, great match. Loving Ricochet. I love Ricochet, man. It's one of my dogs. Quick story, real quick about him. I went to an Indies event at Brown University about 8 years ago, and seen a guy jogging. Regular guy, look regular, just jogging throughout, and I'm like, man, it looks like he's getting a good sweat. 2.5 hours later, he's in a wrestling ring, and I'm like, oh, that was the same dude I was just running wrestling. I'm saying here like, oh my god, I thought he was a professional jogger, but it seems like he's a professional wrestler. But back to this, man. You got 3 great talents in the ring, 3 different hemispheres in a matchup. So it's gonna bring heat, and it delivered. The way the match ended, they always Ospreay gonna win this title every 2 months. You're gonna get it, win it, lose it, win it, lose it. Like, I mean, if he wants to be booked that way, that's cool. I mean, he's going back overseas anyway, so it doesn't really matter, I guess. Takeshita, he ends up rounding the champ. This is the guy that's kind of been here the longest out of all them 3, so shout out to him to, capture some gold. And like Dale said, man, hopefully AEW, puts him in the spotlight where he's winning matches, and it's not a short reign.
Yeah. Jay, talk to me.
All right. phenomenal match, man. Like Meta said, the worlds collide aspect was just beautiful. The styles matched up perfectly. And when you put Osprey and Ricochet in the ring, you gonna have magic, man. You gonna. That's the whole reason Ricochet wanted to go to AEW,
Mhm.
just for matches like that.
Right.
Now, getting back to this, Don Callis, shades of Paul Heyman. I already knew it was a matter of time before T get that title.
Okay.
Matter of time. And I'm glad it came now so that, you could kind of work him into that big picture for the big title. He got the middle class title, but you want to put him up there with the heavyweight soon. And like you kind of need a change. Like I'm getting sick and tired of seeing the same people in the world heavyweight picture. I'm just
Oh
being
yeah,
honest.
that's just whack.
Just being
World heavyweight
honest.
was terrible. It's like heavyweight. Well, it was like heavyweight championship boxing in the heavyweight
Yes,
division. This is how the heavyweight division in AEW is right now. It's terrible.
Yeah.
it's terrible.
I'm actually glad that they didn't go through with the Okada Takeshita tease they was going for. Like, oh, these guys gonna go at it now. I'm glad they backtracked and had Takeshi go this way because a match like that needs to be built later on. We don't need to see that right now. So I'm kind of glad one of the very few illogical Tony Khan bookings that this one actually worked because we all know if they're gonna put Takeshi versus Okada now, Okada wasn't losing.
Mhm.
So
Hmm.
that's what I think about that. John, what you think about the match?
Match of the night. I know Bobby might say it was main event, but this was the match of the night. Dang, take the over if y'all gonna go back and count the flips if y'all gonna bet in Vegas. But this was the match of the night.
Facts.
This was the
Wish
match
they
of the
had
night,
that. Wish
dude.
they had that in the Prize Pick app. I would have made money on that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Exactly. Yeah, that
Will,
was
will,
easy money.
will wrestling ever be on the app in terms of
DraftKings.
daily?
They got
No,
it's getting there.
DraftKings got the pay per view. DraftKings got the pay per views and all that. I join the pools every time they have them. Shout out to
Okay.
DraftKings. I'm just talking about in general, like on a daily basis, like will we ever
Yeah.
see it, like in our lifetimes?
I don't know because I'm anxious
We,
to
we,
how they categorize that though. Like
Mhm. How
how
many
what's the over under on the match limit on the match time?
how many
Right,
pin
stuff
how
like
many
that.
pinfalls?
How
How
many
many
appearances they make on TV? Like how would they do that? You know, like I'm actually interested on
Yeah,
that as
it had to
well.
be props like that. That's what
It
it
had to
had
be
to be.
props. It had to be straight props. Like who's gonna come in and interfere
that's it.
tonight? Dirty Dom or Carlito?
Yeah.
Something. You know what I'm
something
saying?
like
Like
yeah, something like that.
yeah.
Who gonna get the
Yeah, it'll be
first
all props.
pinfall? You know.
Well, of course,
It'll be all
it's
props.
going to be limited. It's going to be maximum amounts because it's scripted and somebody has the answer somewhere. So,
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe that's why they don't do it because it's like, and plus at the same time, wrestling is like they can go with one thing and then something can happen. They're like, oh shit, no, we gotta do something else, and that'll fuck up everybody's pool.
yeah.
Oh, you must be talking about Durag Vince McMahon decisions to
I
change the
mean,
whole show 2 hours before the show happened.
Yeah.
you
Oh
got
man,
your
no.
you got your bet saying on who's gonna win the
I'm forgetting
championship,
about
and you
that
forget
era,
about the money
folks.
in the bank title holder coming out of nowhere, and that messes up the entire pool there. So I think there'll be too much controversy on that. So maybe it's best that they don't have weekly bets because the way they book is like it can all change in an instant. You know, somebody can get hurt and then they call a fly and then they take somebody out of the match and put somebody else in, and then what do you do?
And then not just that, certain well, I know for WWE, I don't really know too much about AEW for as their tapings. Their Monday nights, Friday nights, and Tuesday nights, they're taped a week in advance. So it's like the people that already was at the show, they already know the outcome.
They're live unless they're going overseas and they'll tape an episode or something like that. But nowadays they're live. They're always live on Mondays. They're always. I don't know about NXT, I don't know if NXT, I'm pretty sure NXT is probably the only one that's taped, but
You
for
show
sure,
because you
Yeah,
show
every
because
sometimes they do.
I done seen some clips pop up like back when the Roman and Jey Uso beef was popping. I done seen some clips pop up on a Tuesday for the results that was gonna happen on a Friday.
Well, that's
like,
probably when SmackDown used to be just before SmackDown went live, before they went to Fox. That's probably then when they used to do
yeah.
used
When
to
they
do
was they filmed it live on a Tuesday and then they'll play it on Friday. That stopped the day in Los Angeles on October, I think 5th or 4th when they had SmackDown Live. That's when they actually started.
That's when they had the new premiere, right? Oh no.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's when they actually
Yeah.
filmed it. That's when they actually started doing it live. I should know. I was there. Shout out to The
Okay.
Rock for making my birthday special.
Shout out to
Speaking of something special and the main event, this here, man, this match and the aftermath that followed.
Mhm.
Bryan Danielson, John Moxley for the AEW World Championship. The match itself
Say a prayer.
was one of the best that Bryan's ever put on. It was a back and forth match. These guys laid it out there, and we all knew that Daniel Bryan called the shot. He said whenever he loses that championship, that was it for his full-time career. We've been on this show multiple times. Me, Jay, John, Dale. We all pretty much came to the conclusion that Daniel Bryan wasn't going to lose his championship until probably December.
Mhm.
We all thought for sure he would drop it at the end of the year. He was done. Boy, all of us was wrong. I'm glad we didn't take a bet on that because
Mhm.
he choked the man out.
Killed him too.
Which was,
Bad. Murder.
and a historical note, John Mox becomes the third member of the Shield to retire Daniel Bryan in some type of capacity.
Oh
Seth,
shit.
Seth Rollins beat him first. He moved. That forces Daniel Bryan to leave Raw.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns beats him. That forced Daniel Bryan to leave SmackDown, and pretty much that was it for him in WWE.
Yep.
John
right.
Moxley has beaten Bryan Danielson to pretty much end his full-time career. So this man has put over the Shield in
Wow.
every twist and turn of the way, and some people probably don't even recognize it. Like this man has agreed to lose to all. Nobody else has made this man leave. No one else has beaten this man for the championship. Those three men, and I told John this forever for I don't know for how long. It's been 10 years, and one shape or fashion, the Shield still runs WWE, and
Yes.
Mox becoming the first ever 4-time AEW champion, solidifies
Still,
that, and it adds more respect to John Moxley's name.
Yeah.
So after that, which is the whole all hell broke loose that I was mentioning about, because man, we saw another homicide, we saw another crime scene at the end of this one. They was choking the shit out of Dan Bryan. The locker room comes out, Action Andretti, Top Flight, they got their ass beat. Private Party, they decided to stick their nose in. They got their ass beat. You know what I'm saying? And then Darby Allin, tries to make the save. And man, the way they handled Darby Allin had him tied up, handcuffed to the pole, and forcing him to watch everyone destroy Bryan Danielson, especially with the stomp to the chair with his neck in place. That was that was all Daniel Bryan's idea. He chose to be taken out like that.
Mm-hmm.
Him winning the championship wasn't his idea, but him getting stomped out and pretty much killed on live TV, that was his idea. So props to Bryan Danielson on that for loving the violence. Before I turned it over to the panel, earlier I had mentioned that this is the perfect time for AEW to rip off WCW in a good way.
Okay.
This hostile takeover like this is reminiscent of the NWO when they came in and ran roughshod on the WCW locker room, whether it's heel or face. Now, the whole Darby Allin situation, now I'm starting to understand why they did what they did. Because when Darby Allin declared that one day he would become AEW champion, Brian Danielson won the title. Mox is like, well, he's not fighting. I want your spot. He took his spot. Now he's champion. If this booking goes the way I think it's going to go, this whole new BCC, which I'm assuming will be led by Shane McMahon, they're going to run roughshod over AEW, whether you're a heel or a face, right? With John Moxley as the World Heavyweight Champion. I think they're going to use Darby Allin as that knight in shining armor, the savior of AEW, and somehow put on this big match where they will have Darby Allin defeat John Moxley for the World Heavyweight Championship to be that beacon of hope, that savior, just like his mentor Sting was. If you remember, when Sting finally beat Hulk Hogan and took the WCW title back to WCW, like, when that happened, it was a big movement. It was like, man, like all is restored. You know, Sting saved the day. Sting was the hero of he had to disappear, come back, be this persona that he has, and beat the big bad Hulk Hogan. This can be and we all said we didn't see Darby Allin as champion, but I said eventually he will be. This will be the way to do it by having all of AEW go through hell and then have Darby Allin being that savior to finally take down John Moxley, because he's never beaten John Moxley, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. But to defeat this man, all the locker room will rejoice when Darby Allin becomes the AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Dad, what you think about it, man?
I can see what you're saying. The whole thing, beating up Brian Danielson, taking down a rope, all that kind of stuff. I mean, it brings legitimacy to it. How long do we see Brian Danielson away from AEW TV? That's the question. He will come back. We know that, but you know when he's not going to be a full-time kind of wrestler. So does he let this beef go and show up to wrestle somebody randomly at, Double or Nothing or something like that? One of the big pay-per-views, or does he come back, try to get revenge, get beat down again, and then go away?
I mean, I wouldn't say he gonna get beat down again. I'm pretty sure he gets his licks in here and there, and maybe he'll appear, on television a lot, but wrestles less. So we might get that. But I was maybe thinking right now
like an authority kind of role too.
Yes,
like that. That's possible.
Yeah, he might go right for now. He might go on a long vacation, and he could come back as an authority figure to back up Tony Khan against possibly Shane McMahon's group. We don't know, but I think right now he's definitely gonna take some time off to be with his family and all that stuff, and just because his family needs all the prayers they can get with the whole Nikki Bella situation, but that's none of my business. I
could have looked this up. Oh, Nikki Bella. I'm sorry. Not the other one. Okay, my bad. I breathe.
But I think he'll be gone for a while. So whatever direction they go from here, I think it is going to end up with it'd be a dope story to end it with Darby Allin being that second pillar of two of the four pillars to reach that mountaintop of AEW. Meta, what you think?
Um, John Moxley, man. It sucks it has to be him because, like I said, we mentioned earlier, the heavyweight division is fucking terrible. They don't know what the hell they're doing with the belt. Daniel losing the belt. Daniel's one of my all-time favorite guys, so it kind of hurt me. But John is the Rock. I guess that just keeps staying here. But yeah, Darby Allin winning the championship wouldn't be wrong. My thing is when he does win it, how long is he gonna have it, and will he even be healthy enough to defend it? We know the crazy matches that Darby Allin goes through. This matchup that he goes with against John Moxley potentially is going to be the craziest match. We've seen John Moxley in all types of shit, and we've seen Darby Allin in all types of shit. So best believe we're going to get a banger. But my only concern is he going to be healthy enough to carry that belt if he does win? Now, if he wins, hey, even if you want to say, hey, he comes on the next night, relinquishes it, whatever. Fans start whining, crying, you make a storyline out of that. It's interesting and all.
I'll tell you who's the guy that's going to answer that question for you on how long he's going to keep it. Ask Christian Cage how long he's going to keep it.
No.
Chris. He wins it, gets all the confetti, and then here comes the patriarch with the take advantage of a beating down Darby Allin. Maybe it'll be that same night, maybe it'll be a week later, but he's gonna catch him, and then you're gonna be looking at the AEW World Champion sooner rather than later, so he can go on to climb Mount Everest wherever whatever he wanted to do.
Yeah, man, he's supposed to climb it real soon, so maybe he can climb with some gold.
Yeah, well, that too. Jay, what you think?
Hold on, without giving anything away, do they pay off the title going into the backpack on tonight's Dynamite? This crap.
No. Okay. The backpack was not seen. It was now we saw a briefcase instead of a backpack. So
okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, continue.
Go ahead, Jay.
Okay. First of all, I love when we talk about wrestling. I love when we talk about it because so many thoughts just ran through my head. So y'all know how I feel about Darby Allin. I said it, and I'm gonna keep on saying it. He is that Jeff Hardy of the AEW.
Mm-hmm.
So you book it to say the same way you were saying it. Have him win that title over Moxley. Now, if I remember correctly, Jeff Hardy won a title, and then he got screwed a couple days later at the next pay-per-view by one Edge. And then CM Punk was the other one. I was there for the CM Punk one. So Christian Cage is now that man that has that answer for him. Darby Allin goes through hell. I mean, I think they're going to go through it. I think it's going to be called a 7 stages of hell match. John Moxley and they just wow with it. And, they had this awesome battle. Not even a week later. He's going to take a week off. But 2 weeks later, he's going to come. That's when Christian's going to lay that law down. So, I'm expecting that. That'll be the perfect way for him to, you got your title. Praise to you. There go your confetti. Now it's time to move on. Because at the same time, I know I said these old guys, I'm sick and tired of them, but I need to see Christian Cage get paid off as the AEW World Champion before, this thing is over for him.
Yeah.
He's
gonna be that long term, like, oh shit, this dude actually did it.
Exactly. And also, I know we keep saying Shane, it'll be awesome if it's Shane, but I'm thinking it's gonna be Edge.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I could see him being part of the group, but that figure, that Bischoff type, non-wrestling figure, it has to be Shane. Shane has to be the one to come into AEW, come into Tony Khan's backyard and be like, Hey, I'm taking over now. This ain't your company. This
Yeah.
is
That's
the BCC takeover. What
I
you
mean,
think, Shaq?
that'd be dope.
Yeah.
It gotta be like you. It gotta be someone like Shane who's like a mastermind. Can't be like Edge will be as we know how he is the ultimate opportunist. But you need someone who has a little business savvy to carry out this hostile takeover. The same way like Terrell was saying with Eric Bischoff is pretty much working on the inside cross to get basically with the NWO as a double agent. You need someone who knows the ins and outs of how the business goes, and that person is going to be the guy who orchestrates this new world order of AEW.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I got a question for you. What's gonna happen with what's gonna happen with the elite and EVPs in the situation? Are they gonna stay
That's
heels?
what I'm
Or are
saying.
they gonna become these faces? Or are they gonna just disappear completely?
I mean,
I
honestly,
think
we
it's
need to resolve that whole EVP Tony Khan power struggle.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what we
Right.
need to do.
I think what's gonna happen is it's just gonna be like WCW and NWO. Because when the NWO started invading, the Four Horsemen, if I'm not mistaken, they were kind of heels. You know, they was like a heel faction doing their own thing,
Yeah.
but everyone reluctantly had to band together to take on the NWO. So I
Yes.
think, based on what we seen tonight, with another BCC attack, the Elite were there, but the Elite was like, we're gonna go this way. So I think what's gonna happen is eventually the AEW locker room is gonna come to the Elite and like, hey man, y'all the big dog. What you gonna do about this? So either they try to strike up a deal with the BCC, or Shane McMahon does show up and be like, Tony Khan, your boys here think they're running things, but my squad say differently. And eventually, to Dale's point, they're gonna have to resolve that power struggle issue, and somehow the Elite gonna have to form some kind of alliance with the rest of the AEW locker room. Because if I remember correctly, when the beatdown was going on, some of the AEW locker room came down. And they looked right at the Young Bucks and like, "Why you guys still standing here? Help us!" So I think eventually the Elite will somehow, some way, maybe pick a side in this war, because I know for a fact that it's not just going to be the BCC. It can't be just the BCC. I think this is going to be a thing, and eventually they're going to come for the titles, because Mox said it today. If you're employed by AEW, you're the enemy. And I'm looking at this and I'm thinking to myself, Elite, they talking to you too. Like you basically running AEW, so they pretty much put you on notice as well. So I'm anxious to see how that's gonna turn out. And like y'all said, like, where does the Elite fit in all this? Because eventually they're gonna cross paths with the BCC.
Oh yeah, quickly too.
Definitely.
Yeah,
All know
So
man.
everybody. When Shane if and or Shane comes, it's officially war. It's officially wartime. So, man, along with everything else that's going on, man, this can
agree.
be exciting for them. This can be exciting for AEW. If they
but
do the
they
right thing.
need to do all in. Don't go half-ass. Go all in. So that means you need to go Ring of Honor. You need to pull everybody in this if you want this type of storyline to work and to be believable.
Mm-hmm.
So
Exactly.
bad. Blood and
Exactly.
Guts is already gone.
Yeah, that came and gone. I don't know. I mean, there's still anarchy in the arena. They can always pull that out the
Sure.
rabbit's hat. Hopefully it's not at Tropicana Field, because that thing is not going to be open anytime soon.
No, they say not even have baseball there in 2025.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, by the time they get it fixed, it'll be almost time for them to go into the new stadium that's being built.
Yeah.
Oh, Well, they might as well just take this time and just renovate that thing and do something else with it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else got any left to say with that main event before we go on to the closing?
Let's give Brian Danielson his flowers, man. This is one heck of a run from a dude
Can we get
who
Brian
had
Danielson
overcome a
his
lot of
flowers?
odds.
Yeah.
Yeah, he overcame a lot. Obviously, I didn't follow Ring of Honor a lot back in the day, but when I first saw him on the TV version of NXT, obviously everyone knew who he was, but they knew who Brian Danielson was, this independent wrestler who was really who was just a straight dog of a competitor and skilled technician. And obviously, we all know how things look with him and Michael, how to try to make him look like a goof with him and Michael Cole, or him with The Miz. And then he eventually, obviously, when the whole Nexus takeover happened, he got the short end of the stick because he accidentally assaulted an official, blah, blah, blah. And he came back at that SummerSlam with Team Cena, with Team WWE. And we started seeing, and that was just the start of just a decade and a half of greatness. And we seen it, and it was just long overdue. The Yes Movement, being a world heavyweight champion, obviously overcoming multiple neck injuries, and he still somehow came out on top. So I salute Brian Danielson, Daniel Bryan, whatever you want to call him. Last Dragon, leader of the Yes Movement, the American Dragon. He is goated, a future first ballot Hall of Famer, and can't wait to see what he's going to do next to keep the wrestling business going upward.
Does he accept the WWE Hall of Fame ring?
Of course.
Sure. Yeah.
Of course,
man. He got nothing but love.
I don't mean that's
he got number love for WWE. He's like people on the AEW fan base side wanted him to bash WWE, and he flat out refused to do so.
No.
He's like, I'm not doing that. So when he officially hangs up his boots, I'm pretty sure it could be years from now, it could be a year from now, whenever he retires. Eventually, yeah, he will get that. This is a new era of the Hall of Fame. This is Triple H's Hall of Fame. So I have no doubt that man will get his Hall of Fame ring.
I wouldn't be surprised he'd be a Hall of Famer this year. How WWE is really lacking on the Hall of Fame. No, I'm serious. Like, think about it. You induct Rey Mysterio. I get it. It was in California. It was 619. But you induct him while he's still performing. You know.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, to me, they running out of wrestlers.
No, they just being stupid and not putting the right people in.
Yeah, I agree.
Well,
I agree.
I don't know what
we know why certain people aren't in. We know why certain people aren't in, and a certain person was behind all of that. But look at
hopefully
this
that
past Hall of Fame, which was the first Hall of Fame in the Paul Levesque era. You had Paul Heyman. You had the U.S. Express. You had The Rock's grandmother.
Yeah.
Thunderbolt Patterson.
That was a shock.
And then obviously one for me I was way overdue was Bull Nakano.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Sam Roberts. I just feel like you're going to start seeing different people, and I know that poll on Twitter saying should fans get a chance to vote for the Hall of Fame? No. Should it have an impact on who goes? Yes, but no, not vote, because not everyone is a Hall of Famer. When you talk Hall of Fames, and obviously Sports for You, we're a sports podcast separately from Sports for You Wrestling, you talk about the greatest of the greats. There's some wrestlers who are Hall of Very Good, and there's some wrestlers who are Hall of Fame. I just saw that we just had the Basketball Hall of Fame. Vince Carter, Chauncey Billups, Michael Cooper, all just went in the Basketball Hall of Fame this last weekend. Vince Carter, Hall of Famer. Chauncey Billups, could be. We went on the borderline. I'm a Lakers fan. Of course, I'm biased towards Michael Cooper. But he didn't have the numbers. But he didn't have the numbers to prove that he was a Hall of Famer. So when you think Hall of Famers, you got to think about who's like the best of the best. And there's a lot of people who should have been in a long time ago that Vince was being spiteful for that didn't get their flowers either before they passed or when they're not in the right physical state to enjoy the moment. Lex Luger, man, is going to be. I mean, like one prime example of Lex Luger.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I'm pretty sure eventually, maybe one day, Lex Luger will get that call because the controversy is surrounded by him. I think he got exonerated from that, so I think he's good.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you,
yeah.
I'll tell y'all right now, there's two people that should be in the Hall of Fame and they never will. Owen Hart, he'll never go in. And it's not because the WWE won't let him.
He won't accept it. The wife won't accept it.
Yeah, the wife.
Exactly. The family straight up said hell no. And of course, Chris Benoit, he's never getting in.
Never.
Because that man had a Hall of Fame career, but unfortunately, we all know what happened that kept him out of it. So that'll never happen on anybody's watch. Those are the two that for sure should get in. They're probably personally in our list. They're Hall of Famers, but they'll never get in. I mean, you have a better chance of Owen Hart getting in before you ever see Chris Benoit.
Yeah, Chris Benoit. They don't even want to let his son wrestle in WWE, so that's never happening.
No company's not letting his son wrestle. No major company is calling him. They don't want that smoke. No pun intended. At all. They don't want.
That's cold.
And it's sad because the dude looks just like him.
Like his daddy, yeah. And that's the reason why.
That's messed up.
I know, right? I know.
Just put a mask on, dog. You'll be all right.
That's the cold part. He looks just like him.
Lucha.
And guess what? He's nice in the ring, too. Well, was nice in the ring.
I've never seen him wrestle, man.
I've seen him wrestle.
Though. I never seen him wrestle.
The dark side of the ring. The Dark Side in the Ring episodes, and obviously seeing him, I was in the right. Dang, this! I feel bad for this kid, man.
Yeah,
this dude had
he's
nothing to do with
without even doing anything.
Exactly.
That the fact his dad just went off the deep end, and now he's suffering for it. His family is suffering for it because I know he wants to put that behind him and live his life, but he can't live it. He can't go nowhere without someone saying, "You're Chris Benoit's son." I mean, you saw even with his sister, that moment, she hadn't seen him in like 15. She hadn't seen him since it happened, and it was a moment that they needed to have. That they needed closure, to try to come together as a family. And she said, even one day she prays to God that she does have a heart and forgive Chris Benoit for taking her sister and nephew away from her. But right now, she's still grieving. And I tell these people, and we all lost loved ones. There's never a time. There's never going to be a timetable on when you can on grief.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. And it's like he can live his life. He just can't live his life as a wrestler because he'll be stuck on the independent scenes forever, unfortunately. And usually WWE they love second generation, third generation talents, but that one, poor guy is blackballed without even doing a thing. He's exiled for being a seed.
Gotta wear a mask though.
All right, so what we like to do at the end of this show, we like to have a special segment that was created by good old John Watson over there from Sports for You. John, you want to let these people know, let the guys know on the pound, like everybody in the chat know what this segment's called and how we do?
Excuse me.
All right. It's time for the final segment of the show. Often imitated, it's never duplicated. It's our boy Uncle Dolomite from Too Much Game Podcast, favorite segment. Shout out to Dolly. Sometimes people say stuff in the media, in the sports world, and the wrestling world that need to be called out, and they never get called out. But you ain't never been on Sports for You. It is time for calling out names. So we're gonna call out some people in the wrestling world for something they said or did, and we're gonna let them have it. and let them know that we saw that BS and we're gonna call them out on it. I will lead this off with one James E. Cornette, aka Jim Cornette. Jim Cornette, we all know his history, but this dude really put his foot in his mouth this time. Last week, obviously, we saw Obafemi lose the North American title to Tony D'Angelo at the NXT show in St. Louis. Jim Cornette goes on Twitter or his podcast, I don't know where, but he said this. I hated his African accent. It sounded like Eddie Murphy in the Coming to America. Hello, this dude's from Lagos, Nigeria.
Whoa.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. So you didn't think that the dude really is Nigerian?
Exactly.
Wow. Talk about being tone deaf.
Nah, talk about being racist.
Yeah, that too. I mean, he is from the South, you know, he's come from the NWA and all them, territorial places back in the day. You know how those was ran. That's I'm surprised that's not controversial to some people, but it is 2024, I guess. We should be used to it by now, right?
I mean, I think once he got called out for that one, like, this is not the first time he done said something racist like that before, involving a black, wrestler or whatever. And once that happened back then, they just know to expect that from him. Like, I don't think nobody's really taking him really serious now.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, Jay, you got anybody from call out names? Anyone you want to call out?
I think we got the same call out, so I'm gonna save it for you. I'm gonna have the comments and save it for you.
All right. Meta, you got anyone you want to call out?
Anybody want to call out? Is there anybody I want to call out? Nah, I don't need to call nobody out in terms of the wrestling shit this week, or the last few weeks for that matter. But if I had to line it up, everybody knows, man. Why does Liv still have the fucking belt on her waist?
I knew it was coming.
Mine. I haven't been here in a long time, but Liv Morgan is still the champion. That's something that I thought would not happen, and it's still. And now she got Raquel. Now you got Raquel over here on her side. Like, what are y'all doing here? What are y'all trying to do?
I was waiting for this. I knew Toot was gonna say it. I was waiting for this. When he said he was coming on the show tonight, I definitely was gonna call it out.
It's a problem.
Don't mess with Dale's blondes, man. You stepping on
They'll know. They'll know. The match was set up. Dominic in the cage. Rhea with a chance to win. Should have won. And then y'all pull something like that. Somebody that's not even gonna hold a title ever and attack Rhea. Come on, dog. That's just crazy.
Oh man, that's funny. Well, speaking of Dale, would you like to either retort or have your own call out names?
I do have somebody to call out names here, but I don't see the problem with Liv still having the title here too. So yes, please keep Liv with the title. I'm enjoying this very much. Thank you very much.
And I am too, Daryl. Just to let you know, I am too. Because I called this out. I told him Liv was going to have that title for some time.
Thank you.
It's terrible.
Johnny, if you could put this up for me here. I'm calling out McDonald's.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
To make this dirty Dom meal a thing for real. Okay.
Oh no.
All right. Let's make this partnership real. All right. We need to
think it's real?
Yo, you have really too much time.
I don't think it's real, but I'm calling on McDonald's to make it real. So I'm calling on McDonald's. Let's make it
like
real.
$40, $50. Would you pay $40 or $50 for the dirty Dom to like? It's not going to be $10.
Hey, they need to change. They need to change that burger and make it a chicken mac.
No, that's what it is. It's a chicken sandwich with chicken
Hey.
tenders. They got
Nah, but it need to be the chicken mac.
I thought that mother was a
He think he
donut.
a
I didn't know
mac
it was
and
actual
he's a
hair.
chicken.
okay, I got you. I
My
got
man,
you.
Dirty Dog.
That's
I
I'm
mean-
calling out there, man.
Shout out to Dom, man. He's over one way or the other.
Yeah, he's selling toilet
Um,
paper, all this stuff, man.
Yeah, I ain't paying money to wipe someone's face on my ass. We already went down that.
Yeah.
We already went down that. I'm cool. Actually, I have two calling out names. I specifically saved this one, and I didn't have to ask John to remind me because this one I actually remembered. One of them is Vince Russo. So as we know, Jey Uso won the Intercontinental Championship a few weeks ago, and your boy was emotional. It was his first title since he's ever been in the company because he spent 10 years or so, 15 years as a tag team.
Mm-hmm.
So Vince Russo goes on and says he didn't understand why Jey Uso was getting all emotional over the title. He was like, better yet, I don't understand why these stars are getting emotional when they win the title. It's just a prop. All right. If it's just a prop, won't you tell these Hollywood actors who bust their ass for these Oscars, and when they finally get the Oscar, go ahead and tell them it's just a prop.
Exactly.
Like these men and women, they've gone through divorce, they've missed death in families, graduations, births, Christmases, Thanksgivings. They've been out of their kids' lives for so long that their relationship is strained, all to become champion, all to become that top star to make money for their families, to pay for their college tuitions, their graduation, so they ain't got to worry about a thing. So Vince Russo, if it was just a prop, is that why you booked yourself to win the WCW championship back in WCW? I mean, this is why this type of thinking, you've been fired from WWE, you've been fired for TNA, you'll never get a job in AEW because of shit like this. It's like, dude, just because you never won anything in life, don't shit on everyone else's parade because they feel something special with this. They literally broken bones, blood, sweat, tears, like I said, divorces, death, all this stuff they missed out for them.
Legacies.
And not everybody that becomes a wrestler ever becomes a champion. Mm-hmm. So to be a champion in WWE, that's a big deal. So for you to say that, you have no business, no right at all to even open up your mouth to criticize someone for being happy. If you got children, your children were born, how would you like it when someone tells you, "Oh, that's just a body"? Why you get unemotional for?
Yeah. I mean, I get that, man. I definitely get that. Note to Dale real quick. There was a couple times during our football talks where we spoke on Caleb Williams. You know what I'm saying? Crying in the crowd, crying to his moms. After a game, just in general.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. I mean, if you want to be emotional, be emotional. Like I agree with you. You don't criticize somebody being emotional. Would I be emotional in this case? Maybe not on air, but definitely when I win that belt, I'm crying fucking to the river. So if his time to cry was in front of the fans the next week, I'm not mad at it.
Yeah.
And he want to be emotional and take place. He has many generations that wrestled before him in his family. So it's like Rikishi goes to the dance. Rikishi wins a title. You want to do the same thing your father did. So when you do the same thing your father did, it becomes emotional, man. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Vince Russo, shut the fuck up and mind your business.
Yep. Yeah. Please do, because honestly, any achievement, you have that right. You worked hard for it. You worked hard for any and everything. Like these dudes, it also pays off for the storytelling, man. It make you feel it more. If he
Yeah.
ain't, to be real with you, if he wouldn't have cried, I wouldn't have felt as deep as I felt about it because it wouldn't have made me think that, oh, his daddy, The Rock, Umaga, I forgot who the
Yoko.
other person, Yoko, all these dudes held this. And his brother, let's be real, his brother never gonna hold that title. You know what I'm saying?
I do
I'm
my
just
man
being
right now.
real. So
Yeah.
for him to get that title, that's kind of like a passing of the torch moment.
Mhm.
Because all those
Yeah.
dudes became champion, world champion.
Yeah. And
Oh,
that
and Roman
bothered me
Reigns.
because it's like, yeah, and Roman's another one, and like that kind of bothered me because Vince Russo's always said some dumb shit throughout his lifetime, and his booking never really made sense either. So it's like, why would you open your mouth about that? And so I'm with Rikishi when he told him to go fuck himself. Like
Yeah.
Facts.
so I'm with Keish on that one. Um, and my second call out names is everyone on Twitter, everyone that's bashing WWE, everyone that's coming at Triple H's head for black representation.
There we go. There we
How
go.
many of y'all calling out Tony Khan for Miss Black representation in AEW?
Speak,
I said
brother.
this.
Go ahead, speak.
I said this earlier. Private Party has been a tag team for God knows how many years in AEW. They're pretty much legends in New York in hog wrestling. Um, you had these guys become one of the pillar tag teams on AEW. They lose matches. They barely win some. They lose. They pretty much put on screen to be a bunch of goofballs that don't go anywhere. And then you put these guys on primetime television, and they lose. Where's this outcry of black representation? Right? Willow Nightingale. Her title reigns are outside of AEW, except with
Except
the
the two.
TBS championship.
Right.
But on primetime television, she's had every time she goes for the AEW Women's Championship, she loses. She went for the RH title, I don't know how many times. She loses. So where's the outcry of that? You attacked Triple H for not having black wrestlers on a PLE. Why wasn't Mercedes Moné at Wrestle Dream?
Thank you.
She
Why
was on
why
the
wasn't her
marquee.
title why was her title defended on Wrestle Dream? Isn't she like one of the biggest acquisitions in AEW?
I think
Where
Not just
where's
that, she's the highest paid
didn't she defend her
female
title?
wrestler.
Didn't she defend her title tonight?
No, that
exactly
was
why
the
didn't she do
That's
that?
Wow.
crazy.
Why didn't she do that at Wrestle
was that
Dream?
a title match?
You could have took the Mariah May match and put that on Dynamite or
Yep.
somewhere. Why not have your black champion on a pay-per-view? Where's the outcry of that? Where's the outcry of Athena not being shown on AEW television in years?
Yes.
You keep her in Ring of Honor and have her hijack the title for over 300 days past Samoa Joe's record, but not once does it get highlighted on AEW. But you bring in Ring of Honor world champion to Dynamite. Sometimes you bring in the Ring of Honor television championship to Dynamite. There's been a few times you brought the Ring of Honor Pure Championship to Dynamite. Why isn't Athena defending her world championship on Dynamite?
They bought the tag
Where's
team
she at?
title too.
Hold
Yeah,
that,
where's
hold
she
that,
at? You know what I'm saying?
man.
Everyone's attacking Triple H for not booking black wrestlers right. MVP is made a shot at Triple H for not representing black people right. Where's your comments towards Tony Khan? Oh, I forgot. You don't want to lose that big check you just got. So you're gonna throw shots at Triple H out the door because they didn't see you valuable
Hold
anymore.
on, As if MVP and Shelton Benjamin wasn't in the script with somebody that's been shown poor black representation, and that's Swerve, the former champion.
Yeah.
And what we already knew that was
He
gonna happen.
still, and he still didn't get his championship coronation when he won the title off of I forgot who he beat.
Samoa Joe.
Samoa Joe. Where was his coronation? His first appearance, he went straight to a match that lasted probably like less than 10 minutes.
Right, exactly.
He didn't get no pyro. He didn't get time to, thank the fans for supporting them. They put it right to work. But
by the way, that was a title match tonight.
Huh? There was no title match tonight.
That's
stupid. It was a title match.
Oh, it was a title match. That's crazy, right? I hate when they do that. I hate when they do that in WWE. I hate when they do that in AEW. Like, you have titles for a reason. I grew up with titles being on the line at pay-per-views. Okay, if you want to have a title on the line during the week, okay, fine. But at a pay-per-view, it should be mandatory. Like, what the hell?
Yeah. And it's like, where is she at? Where's Athena? And she's been pretty much relegated. She's been pretty much, ever since she lost to Jade Cargill, she's been relegated to a Ring of Honor purgatory ever since. She's never been on AEW television. So it's like, all these people that's coming at Triple H, where's all this smoke for Tony Khan? If you're going to call out a company for not representing black people, you should call out all companies for not representing black people that way, because everyone's like, oh, well, they got Swerve and Mercedes as champions. I'm like, yeah. How are they being booked? When Mercedes won her championship, she got a coronation. Why didn't Swerve get one? So it's like it bugs me that these people.
It's the black. Hold on. And I'm gonna say this right now. I mean, sorry. I feel bad for Athena and all that. This and that. The ladies, you know what I'm saying? They're getting a lot more shine than they used to. Shout out to the ladies, but they should definitely be getting all the shine that they need. She should be defending her title. If you're going to have cross promotions, all that, then she should be on TV. But we know what type of world it is now, fellas. It's woman dominated. The black man going to get shitted on forever, no matter what company it is. And it's terrible. Triple H, and Tony Khan. Both of them motherfuckers. I don't know what we need y'all to do, but it's not hard. It's like basketball and football. We know the talented motherfuckers are on the court, and in the business too. There's some people that are that, but then they put this overall business scheme like, they thinking of Hulk Hogan's and John Cena's and they're marketable people, and it's something because that's not the market no more, man. The market is the Swerves, the Monets, the Willows, and everybody else in between as well. So,
I mean, I agree and disagree because I think WWE has focused more black wrestlers than AEW has, because I'm counting WWE as a whole. If you look at NXT, with the exception of Roxanne Perez and Tony D'Angelo, they got black champions over there. Montez Ford, the only reason why he's not being pushed as a top single star because he doesn't want to leave Dawkins behind.
Yep.
So he's battling that. Otherwise, he already would have been like a top single star. So, and we're not gonna just forget about the bloodline. I mean, they're not black, but they might as well be. They're pretty much just as minority as we are.
Right.
So, well, you might well add Roxanne to that picture too.
Yeah. So it's like you got these guys on the PLE, and like I said this many times, the big stories will make the PLEs. Carmelo Hayes is on his way. Eventually, he's gonna get the gold off of LA Knight. He's gonna be the United States champion, and he's gonna be, defend that championship on the PLE. And the reason why WWE has championships defended on television is because if they got a PLE and it's so storyline heavy, you need people to still lock in on your go-home shows and your fallout shows, and that's where the championship matches fall in place. That's where the tag team titles get defended. That's where the Intercontinental titles get defended. That's where the United States championships get defended. You make those championships either the opening act or the main event. So there's certain reasons why they're not on PLEs, because WWE now is storyline heavy with so many storylines. There's no excuse for AEW. With all these bookings they be doing, they could easily have Athena. If you're gonna put Jay Briscoe on a pay-per-view and have him defend against Chris Jericho, why not bring Athena onto the AEW and have her defend the championship against like Anna Jay or against Hardy Cameron or somebody? If you're gonna do it that way. So my thing is, if you're gonna, like I said, if you're gonna attack WWE, why not? Why are you not calling out Tony Khan for the exact same thing? And in my personal opinion, Tony Khan's booking is way worse because even
Anna Jay versus Mariah May battle the belts on Saturday.
Ooh. Okay.
Ooh. I don't see. There's so many challengers that's supposed to be challengers, and all the people are stepping in. And that's another thing too. Tony Khan's having title matches every week for no apparent reason. So how are you supposed to get a storyline going if you defending against this person until you actually defend against the person you're supposed to defend it against? This shit makes no sense. Whereas in WWE, you're getting a championship match, but it's definitely storyline related, and it's not. You don't see all these people that's getting title shots, tag team title shots. There's a reason for it. Alba Fire and Ala Dawn, they lost against Jade and Bianca, so they had their title rematch. Damage Control, there's always going to be a history between Damage Control and Jade Gargano and Bianca Belair. So that's why they were getting that title shot. So every title shot in WWE makes sense. AEW, it's like, you get a title shot, you get a title shot.
Oh, snap.
Hey, John, you busy? Hey, John, you busy next week? You want a TNT title shot? Hey, Jay, you busy? You want an All-American title shot? Yo, Meta, what you doing?
Hell yeah.
You want a title shot next week? Done. It makes no sense. So they're booking black the way they're booking African Americans. That really makes no sense to me. So it's like, why is people MVP criticizing them? But where's your opinion on Tony Khan?
He's still mad.
I got a question.
He's still mad about the group, man. That they didn't want to get the group back.
So he had something to say on the way out the door, but he could have voiced that frustration internally. Maybe he did, maybe he not. But those one of those bitter party shots when you get fired from a company that you feel like you put your blood, sweat, and tears in. You always gonna have something to say about that company on the way out the door because you full of that emotion at the time, but. It's like when you was in WWE, what was your opinion on Tony Khan and how he booked the black wrestlers then? You didn't say anything about the competition at the time when how they booking their people. So why isn't everyone else doing it? And it's like it's unfair to Triple H that he's getting all this smoke and clueless Tony Khan isn't.
I do you one better. Tell me how many black wrestlers in AEW have held titles, and then on top of that, hold on.
Willow, Swerve, and Mercedes.
On top of that, tell me within the last 2 months how many black people or minorities, period, have had title shots, have had the title within the last 3 months in all brands in WWE. You can't tell me because it's so many. So it's like MVP. Shut the fuck up. Like you bitter. Like you're really bitter. You felt like you still can go. You don't want to give these young talent a chance to show what they got. Man, this is a whole new world. This is not 2002 anymore. It's not even the 90s, in the 80s no more. The talent is coming straight from black wrestlers. I don't care what nobody tell me. Trick Willie, one of the hottest acts in the game right now. He'll be in the main roster within the next 2 months if they do a draft.
Mm-hmm.
Roxanne Perez, same thing. You got Stephanie, what her name is, Varquez, Recruiter. She's coming in. She's coming in. I forgot the other young lady name that just had the title shot.
Julia.
She came in. Like, it's all these minorities are getting a chance, man. in WWE. That is the holy mecca right now.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't
It,
I, I don't get it.
it's like people are picking and choosing who they want to bash, and it's like, keep that same energy with everybody. That's
Facts.
all I ask. That's all. That if you're gonna do it that way, be fair and call out everybody else. Don't just call out the machine because one disgruntled employee who, felt like he got devalued. So, oh, and Dale said he had to go. So,
Right.
Shout out to Big Dale, man.
Dale,
All right,
thanks
shout out to
for
Dell.
pulling up.
It's been a long day.
So we're gonna wrap this up. This has been a great crossover special, man. Meta, Jay, I appreciate y'all for pulling up and sticking with us. Hopefully, this is
Absolutely.
not the
All
last time
day.
we hear from y'all.
Oh no,
Um,
definitely not, man. I'm my fall schedule is about to kick in, so you probably see me a lot more than you see me in the summer. Summertime was one of the worst in terms of shifts and getting home, and yeah, it was too much.
And you
yeah,
know I'm
man.
here. Anytime you want to talk wrestling, just holler at your boy. Let me know.
For sure, John. Is there anything else you want to add before we close this out?
And I just want to thank the sport, thank the Best in the World crew for pulling up, Smoke, Meta, obviously Dale. Thank y'all for joining us, obviously, for this crossover edition, the recap Wrestle Dream. And just stay tuned. Y'all will be back on the show. Trail definitely be talking to y'all, and we will be doing this again. This was a great panel, and I love the passion. I love the conversation. It was all great, man. It was all great.
All day. All
Yeah.
love and talking sports for you, man. No doubt.
Yeah, thank you everyone for showing up. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter on money_ice. You can follow John's handle at the bottom of the ticker is at John Watson 0984 on Twitter and Instagram. Again, thank everyone for showing up. Everyone in the comment section from Blay, Bella, Cole, Dro, Angry Lakers fan, Laker girl, Tig, BS and Beer Media. Appreciate all y'all for showing up. And we will catch y'all next Wednesday. Y'all be safe and y'all, keep the positive vibes going because in this day and age, we can all use it. So peace out and thank y'all.
Take care.
Peace out.
All right, y'all. Have a
Peace
good one.
out.
You too.